Hi friends, this is Deanna here today, and I am here today to sew up the heart and soul twist dress pattern, dress and top pattern. This is such a cute pattern with lots of different options for sleeves. I am here wearing the angel sleeve, and I'm going to show you here how easy it was to sew this twist, so come sew with me. Let's do it! Alright friends, we're jumping right in, and the first thing we're going to do is apply knit interfacing to the wrong side of all your facing parts. So this is my neckline back and front, but I'm also, if you are doing the sleeveless version, then you would also add the interfacing to your sleeve facings. Now we're going to grab our front and our back, and we're going to sew them at the shoulder seams. Right sides together. Alright friends, we're diving right into that knot, and I know that sometimes looking at pictures or diagrams can be confusing, so hopefully this will be helpful. As you can see, I'm just working straight up on it. This is my left hand, my right hand, so we can kind of show from the perspective of you sewing. The top and the dress pattern are sewn the same way, so this will be for both. So first we're going to go ahead and grab our bodice front bottom. So this is the bottom part of our front bodice that's got the longer sides on it. Now this is best sewn with a sewing machine, so I'm going to be using a stretch stitch on my sewing machine for the knot area. So we're gonna grab the right side. So this is, see how I'm making an L with my finger? That's how I remember left and right, because sometimes I have a hard time. Okay, I'm gonna grab my right side, and I'm gonna grab the top and fold it down on itself to match those raw edges right here. Now here at the top, I'm going to be leaving at 1 inch gap. So when I'm sewing, I'm gonna sew down, but I'm gonna leave that gap here at the top, and then at the bottom, whoop, there's threads all over my clips. At the bottom, I'm gonna leave a 1/4 inch gap. So I'm gonna stop a 1/4 inch before the edge. All right, at the beginning and the end, I'm going to do a little back stitch. Here comes the fun part. I'm gonna grab the top bodice. This is my top bodice, and it's got this little peak here at the end. I'm gonna grab my actual my bottom bodice, and it's face up on my mat. I'm gonna see right here where I left that inch gap right here. I'm gonna go through, and I'm going to go through that gap and put that dress bodice top, well, the bodice top, right through that gap, and it comes down here at the bottom. You can see it down here at the bottom. So my bottom is face up, my bodice is face up. It just went right through that 1 inch gap. All right, here's the scary part. I've got my clips ready, I've got everything ready. Here we go. So now we've got the piece that we just pulled in from the bodice, right? Then we've got the bottom bodice that we just sewed the side to right here. And this is the side that we kept, that we did not sew, and this is the other side that goes over here. What we're going to do is we're going to flip this bottom part up, and it's going to go right below this side. So right here, okay? Then we're going to grab this piece that just came from this bodice right here, and we're going to pull it this way. It's going to get sewn to this side. So this side will get sewn over here, this side will get sewn over here, and that creates that twist. So to create that, we're gonna grab the bodice and we're gonna pull it down over, so that way we can match up those sides. So on this side, we'll match up with this side that we just flipped over. And on this other side, we're gonna match up with the side that came out from underneath with the same bodice side. Match that together. All right, now that those have been clipped, if you flip it up, you'll see that right here it's open. Let me turn it to the back. As you can see now, this is where we sewed up together already. Here's the top part. Here's the other side. This is the side that's still open right here. So now we're gonna match up those two sides together, the side that's still open and that other side, and we're gonna clip that together as well. And that is our knot, because now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go sew it up, and then after we sew it up, we're gonna check it and make sure that we sewed it up all the way up and tight, so there's no gaps or anything from the front. If you need to get any, like if you need to get tighter and closer, you can do that. But yeah, we're gonna sew this up. So then you gotta sew that one, and this one. If you flip it around, that's what your front knot's gonna look like. So beautiful. This is just my thread that I need to clip. I don't want to pull it because I don't want to rip it, but I'm gonna clip it. So let's go back over there and sew this up. So I'm gonna sew with my sewing machine because it's easier to control with the sewing machine. Yep, my sewing machine also eats my fabric, so you know, sometimes it happens. That's why I like to usually do a longer stretch stitch. Okay, moment of truth. We're gonna turn it around and see what it looks like. And it looks really good. Now, this side is looking really tight and good. And then I have a little bit of a gap here. So it looks like I could have gone a little bit closer here. So we can turn it around and find the culprit. Right here, I could have gone a little bit closer. So I'm gonna go back to my sewing machine just really quick and close this up a little bit more. So it's a little bit closer here. And yeah, let me go do that and then I'll come back and we'll go to the next step. All right, much, much better. That is tucked in right there. That is tucked in down here. And our front bodice is finished. Look at how good that looks. I'm excited. All right, look at the difference. That is so funny. I just noticed that. The difference that when I close in, my fabric looks so light. Well, not on there. Sometimes my fabric looks so light and sometimes it looks so dark, but it is a darker color. Hopefully we'll get the correct color when we go outside, but it is so pretty. I am so excited for it. I am using a ribbed knit fabric from Olga's Closet, just in case you were wondering. The link to Olga's Closet is below in the info box if you want to go check her out. Anyway, so this is the bodice top of the back, and now we're going to grab the bottom of the back bodice, and we're going to fold it in half and find my half right here of my back, and then find the back half as well. And then we're going to match those up, right sides together. I am making the dress version. What version are you making? Are you making the dress or are you making the top version first? Let's go sew that. Okay, now we've got our back and we're gonna grab our front and we're gonna place it right on top and sew those shoulders right sides together. All right, next we're going to open this body up. And here we have our neckline, and we're gonna grab our facing and we're gonna place it right on top, right sides together, match the shoulders. Now, I'm gonna tell you the best thing to do is to do this with your sewing machine, and I'm telling you that, and then I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it with my serger and sew all the way around it, attaching them together. But for me, it works to do it with a serger, but most people rather do it with a sewing machine because then they can clip on the rounded edges. I find that I don't really have that much trouble with that, so I find it easier to just do it on my serger. So that's what I'm doing. That's my preference. But the pattern does recommend doing it on a sewing machine because it's easier to control it. And then afterwards you can clip the seam allowance around the edges to have a better curve. So let's go sew that. Now another thing that's recommended is to steam your seam allowance towards your facing and top stitch it. So it will be stitched down to the facing so it doesn't come up. That's another thing I don't love doing. Maybe with the facing, with the fact that we have some interfacing here, it will help it and it would stay better. But I find like every time I do that, on mine, when I understitch, it gets wavy and I don't like it, so I don't usually do it. But if you find that your neckline is, once you turn it around and you, hold on. Once you turn it around and get it in there, if you find that when you're wearing it, your neckline keeps coming up, that will help with that. Top stitching it down will help with it. Having this top stitch down to the facing will help it stay under. Here at the shoulder, where that seam is, I like to top stitch here at the shoulder so that it doesn't fold up on me. And I'll do the same on this side as well. Here on the ditch, I'm gonna put a straight stitch there to keep my facing from folding up. Now, if my facing is being very stubborn and it keeps folding up on me, then I might go later on and understitch that allowance in there. But I don't know, I'm gonna fight my hardest not to, because I don't know, I feel like it like makes my neckline wavy sometimes. Maybe I choose the wrong stitch. Comment below and let me know what you think. Do you like to understitch your neckline if you're doing facing? So I'm gonna go stitch right here at the shoulders. All right, now that the neckline's done, we're gonna grab our dress. I'm gonna place it right sides together and sew those side seams. I have all these threads that I need to clip and I haven't, but I'll get to it. I want to match up the top and the bottom because I may need to kind of stretch that middle section out a little bit where the knot is so that it'll fit. All right, we're going to sew those sides. Now I'm doing angel sleeves, and the first thing I want to do is I want to mark my front and my back on my angel sleeve so I know which one is what. I'm just going to put clips on my back and that's it. All right, now what I'm going to do first is I'm going to hem the bottom of my sleeves. All right, I'm using my cover stitch to hem my sleeve. All right, now I'm gonna grab my sleeve. I'm gonna fold it right sides together. And I'm gonna sew this edge right here. That's the side of my sleeve, right sides together. What sleeve option are you doing? Are you trying the angel sleeves? I've never done angel sleeves before, so I wanted to try this version to see what I think and how they fit and if I like them. And next I'll probably do the long sleeve version because it is cold here, so I might do just the regular sleeve version. All right, before I go sew it up, I've got this tail here that's left over. I just put it right over my seam allowance right there, and then I just sew on top of it. Then my serger tail is just, it's there, so then I just clip that and it's gone. Then I don't have to worry about it. And now with your dress inside out, we're gonna grab our sleeve and we're gonna match up the back with the back. Let's see, that's the back, so that's not the one. So it will be this one. And, oh wait, turn it right side out. Okay, now that makes sense. This is the back, so it is this one. We're gonna fit our sleeve right side together in there and match that seam to the top seam of our shoulder. And then where that curve is here at the bottom, that is our bottom point. Now, if you wanna see what this would look like if you made a mistake and sewed the sleeves on wrong, just keep watching and you'll see, because this is my second attempt at sewing the sleeves because I didn't pay attention. Like I said, this is my first time sewing angel sleeves and I was just like, okay, let's go. And I sewed them upside down. Yeah, not the right way to sew them at all, but that's okay. We're fixing it now. and we're sewing them right side up now. But if you want to see what that looks like upside down, you will get to see that later in the video. Alright friends, I haven't hemmed my dress and I did make a mistake, which you won't see because I'm gonna edit it, but I wanted to show you just one thing because I don't know, I thought it was cute, I thought it was neat, so I wanted to show you. So the mistake I made was when I sewed the sleeves on, instead of sewing the part that's supposed to be at the top, I sewed it at the bottom. So I sewed my sleeve in upside down. As you can see, it looks different than it's supposed to look, but I wanted to show you what it looks like upside down, just in case you were wondering, like I would have been wondering anyways if I didn't make the mistake. So I'm gonna go fix it, edit the video, and come back and show it to you when it's finished. But I just wanted to show that to you because I always kind of like to know what's gonna happen if something like that happens. So now you know. All right, now my last thing to do is to hem the bottom of our bodice, and we are done. All right friends, we are finished with this dress. I think the knot turned out super cute. The sleeve, I sewed it on correctly and it looks so good. I love them. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please comment, like, share, subscribe if you haven't, and let me know what option you're going to be sewing up first. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.